After Adam's brave actions, he was sent to the works for repairs. However, the port at the end of his branch line was picking up work drastically. The Ministry of Defense stepped in and offered an engine to plug the gap. A large black steam engine with a square sectioned boiler arrived at the harbor, where Colin and Stanley waited. The engine seemed to be struggling to move along, with steam leaking in between the edges of his boiler.
Good morning, chaps. Lovely to meet you,
the new engine greeted.
Hello, my name's Stanley, the port shunter. And a lovely job you've done around here. My name's Neville, Pride of Bullet. Pride of Bullet? Yeah, Oliver Bullet. He's my designer. I'm an experimental unit to test this new boiler design.
Oh, that explains why you're leaking so bad.
Yeah, it's still ironing out a few kinks. Yeah, well, maybe they need to iron out your boiler. You look ridiculous. Right, well, Neville, your train's over by the turntable. I will see you later. Neville slumped away, feeling disheartened by Colin's harsh words. That ugly duckling will never be able to replace Adam. We're going to need someone who won't let off so much steam. You know, like an actual strong engine. Adam was perfect for the role.
Oh, so that's what this is all about. I miss Adam too, but you can't take it out on the new engine. He doesn't deserve it.
I don't miss Adam. I just know I'll be left with all the heavy lifting.
And with that, Colin huffed away to pull the boat train. Stanley watched him go, concerned. Ever since his time working on the electric railway, Colin had seemed to get a grip on his abilities. But now, without Adam, things might be very different. A little bit later, Colin was waiting at the middle station with the passenger train. Neville passed with some unmarked gunpowder vans. He whistled at Colin, but Colin didn't reply.
Only some gunpowder vans? Geesh, I knew I was gonna have to do some of the heavy lifting, but I didn't know I was gonna have to do all of it.
Colin got down to the harbor and left his coaches at the station. Then he saw the yardmaster inspecting some wagons of steel rails and oil.
Are those for the new engine? Yes, but they're needed up to the junction as soon as possible. I'm running light, I'll take it. Was it only like 8 trucks?
The yardmaster thought for a second.
Okay, sure, but be very careful.
Of course, sir, I will be. Colin had lied about running light. In reality, he had a long line of ballast and salt that needed to be brought up to the junction too. Soon he left the harbor with his absurdly long train. As he headed through the town, his cylinders groaned. This train was well beyond his pulling power, and his cylinders were feeling the strain the most. Colin crossed the bridge just outside of the town, where he passed Neville. Just outside the middle station, Colin slowed right down to a crawl.
It's too much.
And with a loud, muffled explosion, Colin's cylinder ruptured. The driver immediately closed everything and the firemen poured sand into the fire. Then they sprinted into the buildings. If the cylinder exploded, it could be devastating for people nearby. Colin was belching steam from holes forming in his cylinders. It was at that moment Neville came up from behind. Without stopping, he bumped into Colin and pushed him forward out of the platform.
Don't worry, little fella. I'll get us to the junction.
Glenn watched the cavalcade pass in awe.
Finally, the train arrived at the junction. Neville shunted away the wagons and then joined Colin in the sheds. The little red engine was just looking sadly at his buffers. "What's up, little guy?" "I'm just upset, that's all." "You want to talk about it?" "Well, it's just that Adam was my best friend, my brother, and now he's gone and I don't know when I'm going to see him again, and you're worried that he's never gonna come back." "Yeah. Well, I've never had siblings, or really anyone close before. I was only built a few months ago, but I can tell that whatever you have with this engine is special." "Yeah, we did everything together. We came from the same railway, we worked here together, and we built the electric railway together." "Well, you'll have a lot to catch up about when he gets back." "Oh, yeah, I guess you're right. I'm sorry I was so rude to you. You're really not that bad, Nev." "Thanks, Colin. And you know I'm not staying, right? When the war ends, the MOD is going to send me down to the Southern Railway to work." "Wait, you're not owned by the Fat Director?" "No, I'm owned by the Ministry of Defense. They sent me here to pull civilian and military goods from your harbor." Colin felt relieved now. "Well, then you really got to go. The return train isn't going to pull itself." "Alright, cheers, Colin." And with that, Neville left. Colin still wished Adam would return home soon, but now he had a good friend to keep him company until he returned. Hopefully the war would be over soon and Adam's repairs could be finished quicker. But the war was still raging and the engines were just going to have to be patient, for it wouldn't be ending anytime soon.